The Bellefonte train station, this particular building, was built in 1889 as the Pennsylvania Railroad Company's passenger depot for Bellefonte. It replaced the wooden train station that was built on the same site in 1864, and that replaced the open platform that was built in 1863 when passenger service first came to Bellefonte via the Pennsylvania Railroad. Prior to the railroad, water communications with Bellefonte were via Spring Creek, and there's also a canal that was built to take goods from Bellefonte out. Before that time, it was all roads, and a lot of the iron that left Bellefonte, which was its original large industry, left by pack mules. So that the pack mules would be loaded with iron products and then they'd be taken out. Mostly what was made here in Bellefonte were large pieces of iron that someone else would use to make things out of. So the railroad had a role in helping Bellefonte grow. When it first came in, it made it easier to bring in iron ore and coal from outside to make it easier to run the iron furnaces, which were Bellefonte's initial industry. More recently, the Bellefonte Central also used this train station as its passenger depot, but passenger service basically left Bellefonte and it stopped in the early 1950s. Since then, the train station has been used by the Bellefonte Historical Railroad Society, which is a local hobby group, and they own several of the old railroad cars that are around the train station, and they run big excursions twice a year. They do a fall foliage run coming up very soon, in fact this weekend, that allow people to get out by excursion train and see the fall leaves and their changing colors. Sets up the runs, they staff them, they help people on and off the trains, and basically do the management and advertising of the excursions. The train station fell into disrepair, and in the mid-1970s, the community wanted to have it saved as a historical building. So they started a fund called the Save Our Station Fund, and the community raised money to have the railroad station restored and basically renovated, keeping the flavor of its original usage. And it is now owned by Bellefonte, the town of Bellefonte, and there are 3 organizations that are inside the train station. It has become the home of the Bellefonte Intervalley Area Chamber of Commerce, which I represent, the Central Pennsylvania Convention and Visitors Bureau, which my colleague Renee Brown represents, and she works in the other half of the building, and the Bellefonte Historical Railroad Society volunteers also have a desk here. So we were able to both preserve and to reuse a historic building to everyone's benefit. The rail line outside right now is still a working railroad. It is called the Nittany Bald Eagle Railroad. It is a short line, and it serves some of the industries, for example, Hawbakers and the Graymont Lime Plant, and a number of other industries up and down the line. They basically ship goods in and out of here. But a lot of what goes out by rail from Bellefonte are limestone and lime products made from limestone. But it's still working and it's still operating, and we get maybe 3 trains a day that go through here. I've worked here since February of 2009, and it's been a pleasure. In fact, I'm the envy of everybody that I know, because I not only have a nice office and a historic building, very pleasant and competent people to work with that are very helpful, very much of a team, and when I look out my window I see the park. And it's especially beautiful when the white snow falls in winter and when everything flowers, the flowering trees and the flowering shrubs in the spring. And I also, working here, get to meet people from all over the world. We've had people from almost any country that you can name have come here as tourists or because they have a son or a daughter in the university, and the families came to tour. And yes, I do feel very strongly about this building. I love